Cecil County in the world, welcome back to 30 at 6. And now from Middletown, Delaware, and all over the world, Jerry Crabmeat Thompson. Welcome to 30 at 6.
Thank you, sir.
You know, it's great to have you on this show.
It's great to be here.
At our age, at least at my age, it's great to be anywhere.
At your age.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Now, Jerry, I've seen you years ago at Zinks in Wilmington, doing your solo show.
Yeah.
And I know over the years you worked by yourself and with a band. And how did you get started in music, and where have you gone from point A to now? Briefly.
I started when I was a kid, but I didn't play very much until I got to college. And then I was fortunate. I grew up in the great folk scare of the 60s. And so it was like, Bob Dylan and everything like that. And so everybody wanted to play guitar, so I did.
Right.
And later, when I was teaching, my students told me to go and perform because my classes would be real raucous with laughter and music and stuff like that. So I took their advice, and it was really bad advice. And I went down to San Francisco to be a rock star and enrolled in the Blue Bear Waltz's College of Rock and Roll. And
Blue Bear Waltz.
Blue Bear Waltz's College of
Waltz.
Rock and Roll. Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Well, after my unemployment ran out, I got a job working for a guy who was an ear, nose, throat surgeon, and we made a documentary film about trauma service at San Francisco General Hospital. So that paid the rent until my girlfriend moved to Big Sur, and then I moved down to be with her. And that was the most beautiful place, the most peaceful place I've ever been. So I wouldn't have missed that. And that's when I got, that's when I started my band. I met my first guitarist, and then we went down to LA and we got his buddy to play bass. Then we went up to Lake Tahoe for the winter ski season and got a drummer and had some exciting adventures, and it was fun.
And I had asked you about your strangest gig, and you had mentioned Lake Tahoe, but now you got another one. Do you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah, I thought about the place in the Mexican restaurant in Lake Tahoe, but I think the thing that was more unique was when I was in San Francisco. I had two girlfriends. One was a violinist who played with the symphony, and she would come and she would play anything like jazz. She was very good, very versatile. And then there was another gal named Bonnie. Bonnie was an opera singer, and she wore a mink coat, and she had a little foo-foo dog called Allegra, and she would come to see me in this gay bar where I played, and it was called the Opera Bar, and on the walls were paintings of different operas, and the whole jukebox was opera. And they had a pool table that was suspended from the ceiling, so that you had to climb up to play it. And Bonnie would get up, and she would sing opera on some of my weird songs that you know.
Yes.
Like "Come on Home," and "Part of Me Misses You," and that sort of thing. It was quite fun. It was quite fun. She's a great gal.
You can't make this up.
Great gal.
Crabmeat Thompson, been around forever. How would you describe your music?
It's world-stopping, great stuff for anybody. Come see it. Come see it. Come get it on my website, crabmeat.net. www.crabmeat.net. That's crabmeat.net.
So that was crabmeat.net.
Yeah.
And you play in the area. You got an upcoming gig.
Yeah.
A new band.
Yeah. New band, the Electric Seafood Orchestra with that crazy guy, Box Turtle Bob, that you might have heard of.
Wow. And when is that?
That's on December 21st. Market Street Cafe in Charlestown, nearby.
Very festive.
Wonderful place.
Very festive. That sounds great. And that's a three-piece band?
That's a three-piece band. We have Slim Charles on the bass.
Cool. That sounds great. Now, you use your music and you continue to be a teacher for the University of Delaware in some capacity, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I tutor and teach English as a second language, and it's very, very rewarding. I love my students. They pick me up. They energize my day. Like on a rainy day like this, I get to work with these brilliant young people who are world travelers and help them out with their English. And one of the things that I do, they have regular classes where they get grades and everything, but I teach an informal class that's ungraded, and currently the one I'm teaching is Songs of the Old West.
oh, so you use a lot of music in your teaching.
Yeah, yeah, that's the idea. The idea, okay, music is a great aid to learning.
Right.
Learning anything, but with language in particular, where you're learning vocabulary, what do you have to do? You have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then repeat it in a different way and repeat it over here. And don't repeat it in the same way. Don't just read it off. You have to say it, and you can sing it. You can sing it like, home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play. What's a deer? You know,
Right.
and so, yeah. And we end the class with Happy Trails. And,
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
watch Roy Rogers, and then we watch Eddie Van Halen.
And pretty much across the board, foreign students are fascinated by the whole Cowboy West thing.
Well, yeah, that's the American culture in the world. What do people know? Cowboy movies, Clint Eastwood, and our music. You
Michael
know.
Jackson. We had an ESL kid live with us. He knew Michael Jackson. He dressed like Michael Jackson about 10 years ago. And when I roll up the driveway in my truck really fast, he go, Cowboy!
Cowboy, yeah, yeah.
Pretty cool. So what are you going to play for us tonight, Crabmeat?
I want to play my new song called China. Called China.
That sounds good. Shall we do it?
Sure.
Thanks for being on the show.
Sure.